Have you ever thought how special you are, how unique, how rare you are, how against all odds here you are in this one point in time, and you will never come back again, or at least you have no memory of it, or you have no fabric of understanding of how it can occur again. This is crazy that what we are and what we are in this small minuscule time and space is so quick. It just bang, it's gone. You cease to be. And how the fuck did you get here? Have you ever thought about that? How unique, how rare it is for you to be here, right? There's so many different personalities, so many different people on this planet, born every fucking day. But have you ever stopped and realized this is it for you? This is it. Once this biological makeup goes, where does your soul go? Does it die? Does it cease to be? I've talked about this on videos in the past. I've talked about what happens when you die. I've talked about philosophy behind it. I've also talked about how rare it is for us to be here in this just enough oxygen, just enough light, just enough vitamin D, just enough nutrients, just enough plant life to give us, oxygen. We give them CO2. I've talked about this. But have you ever thought about what is going on right now? Forget about the Matrix. Forget about your daily routine. Think about, look up. Look at the sky. Look at where you are. You're on a ball that's majority is water. Yet you're able to stand and think and use tools and move your fingers. You are here on this ball that's supposedly hurling through space at an unimaginable mile per hour, spinning on its axis, where everything is just in a Goldilocks continuum in which we can prosper. Have you ever thought of that? How rare and how strange this is. Have you ever thought about that we can just die in an instant? This life form that we possess can die in an instant. You have a ticker or a brain that either one of those go, you go. We are fragile. We are frail. All you have to do is pierce that breastplate and boom, you're dead. Or fall from a mountaintop. Just hurl down and hit your head against a rock, boom, bust it wide open, you're done. The fact that we survive and we put ourselves in this time period in which we are the most safe. Have you ever thought about what led us all the way down this path? From, let's just say evolution exists. We started off getting bigger and bigger and evolving and having more consciousness and more awareness, and somehow through the test of time, through all the miracles that have had to be done, here you are. Countless generations of human behavior and evolution and genetics to be where you are, and you are in this small spectrum of space and time. Think about it real quick. This is all you got. After this, what is there? Now, again, I've talked about what happens when you die. I've talked about, do you have a conscious soul that escapes? Because according to physics, energy doesn't die, so it's just transferred. Now, where does it transfer to? Because even after someone dies, we can still have some recollection of a soul being there. But the soul is no longer possessing the body, not moving the body, it's dead. The biological makeup's dead. Where does the person go in terms of the consciousness? What is this that is moving my hand right now? It takes a mind. And what operates a mind but consciousness? And what is consciousness but awareness? How do we have awareness? When we look up into the sky, we look through the stars. We even have telescopes now to zoom in on planets and we visited Mars and there's no life forms. How rare it is to be where we are now. How unique. Imagine if you didn't exist. You couldn't do the one thing you are designed to do. Experience. And if you can't experience, then what is all this stuff? What is this rock that we're hurling through space at millions of miles an hour? And how big is this rock compared to the universe? It's small. It's an ant in a whole planet. That's what this world is, just to our solar system, let alone keep going farther and farther out. Look how small we are. Look how we are an exact amount of CO2 to oxygen ratio giving back to each other in order for us to breathe. The amount of water that's on our planet is extraordinary just for us to survive, and we need water to survive. The fact that we have just enough pressure for clouds and for rain, so places that generally wouldn't have an ocean, because the only way that you would have lakes is through rain, right? It's literally the only way. Or ocean levels go down, and then mountains sprout up around a salt lake, right? And then after time, the salt gets farther down. But these are the only two ways that you can create a lake, right? So this is the only way that we can create fresh water, is through rain, going down the mountains, creating rivers. And if we didn't have enough pressure, that would never happen. And we wouldn't be here right now, because we wouldn't have fresh water with access to minerals. You can't just eat minerals. Thanks to natural streams and rivers can we have minerals to sustain our body. Right? So every possible thing that needed to happen for life to be sustainable on this planet happened to such a perfection in which there is nothing better to have happened for us to be here right now. That I can breathe right now. That we are hurling through. I'm going 80 miles per hour, and we are able to use tools, use our fingers, our thumbs, use all types of abilities in order to fabricate creation in our world. We create technology. We are intelligent. We just get smarter, and our genetics just improve. Despite what you think about devolution, we are most certainly evolving. We have gotten to a point right now where what else is there other than to succumb to our own biological ideas and our technology and our ability to create and to have it applied to our daily routine, our daily lives? What else is there? For you to be here right now was so crazy and had to go through so many generations of certain people having to survive to get to the point where you are here. What created you? See, the more I think about how rare it is and that everything's Goldilocks zone to every possible reason that we can survive here. Just enough heat through it, just enough atmosphere to hold in that heat, with cloud cover that can hold in that heat, with a just big enough planet in which you just dig 10 feet deep and there's 70-degree temperatures. To sustaining water, you dig 20 feet deep there, you got fresh water. That everything having to be perfect for sustainability on this planet for us to survive. Everything had to go exactly according to plan for you to be here. It makes you think. Did the creationists have it right? The more I think about it, the more I think that there's something that is a missing link that we, even the occult, may not understand or know, or have even fabricated an idea of. I hate when people say, especially scientists, we are made of star stuff, as if You have taken a star, extracted it, and had a nice experiment of what is this stuff, and pushing it all down, and okay, here's zinc and iron, and no, never happened. Stop believing what the scientists tell you, that there's a Big Bang. And what they say is the Big Bang started at the size of a pea or a marble or some shit. Yeah? Were they around? How the fuck did they know it was that small? And why did they believe that something was that big or that small? Why couldn't it have been the size of the Earth? Why couldn't it be the size of a germ? What made them think it had to be a pea? Because they have orchestrated all this idea for a Big Bang, and they have to keep lying just like a flat earther, just to keep that mentality going that this is the most honest data that we have. No, it's not. You're creating a lie to continue up the theory, right? The same thing when I made that video on the flat earth theory. Well, if I stop you here and on a disc, you flow around this light source which creates heat and vitamin D and has all these minerals and stuff, and it's clearly not sustainable in your type of mechanism. And how the fuck does it stay up there? And why does it go around if it's flat? Well, it goes around, then they got to create a new idea. Well, this is our new flat earth theory, and it goes around. Like, you're creating a lie to cover up your last lie, because you want another person to be sucked down to your delusion and just believe what you just said. I'm just sitting here thinking about how I am here right now. I'm not that guy in the truck next to me. In fact, I am here. How rare is it for me to be here, right? I don't control any other person on this planet. It's not like a Sims video game. It's not a simulation other than the Matrix, the physics, right? That is it. Me, I have full self-control. I can manipulate my future. There is no deterministic, robotic feat. I am here, and I have the ability with free will to do as I please. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to talk a little bit about creationism. Because I used to be a creationist, and I've always been to the core a creationist, but I've had my doubts. The reasons I've had my doubts is because there is really no evidence for the Christian God. There is no evidence for the Islamic God. There's no evidence for any other God other than yourself, which is basically the Buddhist God, right? Like, yourself. You are the God. You are creating things. You create things every day. This is something that you can prove every single day. You create things. But what created you? You create things every single day. You create everything, right? You are powerful. You are strong. Now, the Buddhist idea is when you are looking into the eyes, you see a soul. But what you see is a soul of another universe. It's a whole nother universe. That's why when people are selfish or they are self-oriented and people say, oh, the world doesn't revolve around you. The fuck it doesn't. It does. You, through your eyes, have a lens on the world that is unique and different than that in which others possess. You have a lens and a filter through your belief structure, through your understandings, through everything in the world that you can conjure up an idea of, can be manipulated with one unique individual thought. Right? Now, there are collectives in thoughts. Let's say making video games. One does this job, one does that job, one does graphics, one does story. And you can be a collective with your idea and thought. But without that one idea of that one person, that video game you created would be different. Or at least essentially different. Right? So, think of it the same way as the world right now. We have tons of humans in this world. We have billions of humans in this world. We are all creating. We all have a unique function in which we can provide value and create into the universe, into the world. And we are so unique that we all bring our own ideas and things. Just one person can change the flow of everything. Think Hitler, Stalin, think Einstein, think Nikola Tesla, which gave way to cell phones and wireless communication. Think of these things. One person can alter humanity, rather the universe. That's how powerful we are. And as a collective, if we are this powerful and this strong, notice it's an obvious reason why government or power structures or rulers want to rule over that power. Suppress the power, suppress consciousness, suppress ideas, suppress freedom of speech. It's clear why they want to do that. Because if they don't have hold over you and say that you're a nothing, aka Big Bang Theory, you're here by chance, you are nothing, you are a speck and instant of time, then you reduce your idea of power that you have. You reduce the creator that you are. You create the above and beyond creativity. You decrease in your overall consciousness. And when your consciousness goes down through all the means that they have created, you are nothing, you have no power, you need to surrender to the government, you need a license to go fishing. All the fucking shit that they're doing is to reduce your ability to think that you are powerful. And surrendering to your new overlords, your new gods. And that's the structure that we are living now when we are talking about the state. The original state was religion. So they wanted to take away your unique power and say, nope, God has the power, and I'm through God, so you need to surrender your resources to me, and your labor, your time, your effort. You need to surrender that into me. What is this? Slavery, right? Whether it's the government or a body of religion. What's the difference? There is none, except for one is a belief structure. They're both a belief structure, but one's a belief structure in which that you believe there's an entity that created everything, which makes sense. And rulers would definitely use this to their advantage. Because when you believe that there's a God with the power that's beyond imagination that created everything, you're going to surrender to that because that's more powerful than you. And you're going to say you're nothing. And most religions say you have to surrender to this deity that you're never going to see, but you're going to claim to have some sort of relationship to. Especially in Christianity, you're going to claim that when you're praying, that you are having a relationship. But the occult knows this as an egregor. Egregors, sorry to throw some knowledge on you, egregors are a fictional entity in which that you have created through your conscious intention. So if you believe you're praying to Jesus, this Jesus is going to feel real because you have your own reality. And in a collective, that is a religion, right? Same thing with a cult. A cult, not occult. Same thing there too. They can create egregors as well. But that is the egregor through religion. The same egregor through the state. When you pledge allegiance to your goddamn inanimate object flag, you are surrendering your powers unto which controls you. They want to be powerful, but don't you? And why are they stopping you? Because you can stop them, right? If you just opened your eyes, your consciousness will see. And when you see through the delusions to the objective, it's quite clear that they can't stop you. Especially if every single person realizes how powerful they are. All you have to do is look them dead in the eye and say, no, we outnumber the fuck out of you, and that's why I'm an anarchist, right? We are powerful. We can manipulate time and space. Why are we stuck in oil? Using oil, which is destroying our planet, which is unsustainable. Why? Can I tell you why? If you didn't figure it out on your own or heard it from a YouTuber or a friend or someone in your family members, If you haven't heard this yet, it's about fucking time. We're stuck on oil because of a power structure. And those power structures don't know how to create power from something outside of oil. Right? There's such thing as the petrodollar. There's such thing as the military-industrial complex. There's such thing as the Rockefellers and the big oil companies. None of these people want to go away. They are billionaires. They are living on top of the world. They have everything of their leisure. They are the most powerful because they have been able to orchestrate modern slavery. If we had limitless power, they wouldn't want to give it to us. They want us surrendering to them. It's quite simple. Now, as unique as you are, you're not going to be back again. What kind of value are you bringing to the world? What kind of ideas are you bringing into the world? I'm trying to bring the best ideas, moral philosophy, showing that you are powerful. I have told you my superpowers. You have powers of your own. And they are limitless. You got to understand. Look into someone's eyes, right? Look into the eyes of someone. Realize that's where the universe dwells, at least in their life. Through which, if you destroy that life, you destroyed a universe. You destroyed potential. You destroyed value. You destroyed something that could have been great. Not only for you and me, not only for the world, but the lineage that could have changed the world, that could have been past that person. Right? Realize we're not here forever. You uniquely, individually, are not here forever. You are a spectacle of such rarity in which you won't be back again. Your consciousness, your memories won't be back again. How do I know this? There's no evidence of it. Look around you. Even when you hear these stories of children with past lives, you know what that really is? It's the energy and memories from a parent to a child, from generation to generation. So when you have instincts of past lives, that is literally your previous generations. That could skip generations, that could be 5 generations down the line. I too have had experiences of past lives, but I know where that stemmed from. That stem from previous generations in which DNA is transferred and information is transferred at the rate faster than any supercomputer. That information is embedded in you. That's why there's an innate ability as a baby to be thrown into a pool and hold their breath. There's something in our genetic code with that ability. Monkeys can't do that. You throw a baby monkey into the water, the baby monkey's gonna drown. Human babies, throw it into a pool, it's gonna plug its nose. It's gonna stop breathing. That's why you see the Nirvana cover, they throw the baby in the water, right? Because a baby is looking around, the baby's fine in water. As a baby, as an infant, as a newborn, umbilical cord still coming out. Fine. Why? Because there's information that was passed by from generation to generation through genetics. Same thing goes with your memories. Don't expect you to live on through anything other than your offspring. That is it. You aren't going to come up in a past life as a zebra. You gotta lose that delusion. The energy is transferred through the worms that are going to eat you to. If you got mauled and eaten by a grizzly bear, that grizzly bear is going to get the energy of your being, your meat, your energy, your blood, which is the juice, which if you ever licked your blood, it's sugar. It's basically the essence of life. That's why ticks want to suck it, and they'll survive completely on your blood. If you eat an orange and all that juice comes out, that's basically the blood of the tree, right? So think of it like this. Your energy is given throughout the land. You return to the land in terms of energy. But the only way for your memories, your genetics, your consciousness to move on is through your children. So this should play an extremely important role of who you are mating with and how you are upbringing your children. Because life is extremely rare and it's not promised tomorrow. Find a good partner that you want to, and naturally we want to do this, right? We want to bring the best genetics to our children. Women, the most pretty. Men, the most strong and bold and leader type alpha, right? We want alphas, alpha males, and don't get that confused with, the bully at the bar. That's not an alpha, that's a bitch. A real alpha male that's going to provide and secure, and a very pretty woman, right? And these two things, when put into an offspring, means that there's a better case for survival of the genetics, right? Because when you're applying these two things, prettiness and alpha qualities, well, this is going to make sure pretty much that your genetics are going to be passed on and passed on and passed on and passed on and passed on. Now, if you fuck an ugly chick, let's say, and you're a beta, and you have an offspring, and your offspring is fat and lazy and ugly, and no one wants to date that individual, boy or girl, well, there goes your genetics. There goes your memories. There goes everything about your genetic code. The most important thing for survival, the reason for survival, is to pass on those genes to make sure that you are immortal. You to be immortal. That's how you get immortal. To pass on your genes. You are distributed to your children. You, the fabric, the essence, the genetics. That's the purpose of life. And why? So you can experience the universe through consciousness and awareness. Now, I didn't expect to get this deep into it because I literally just woke up. I didn't have my coffee, didn't take a shower, and I'm not going to do that for another 32 miles until I get to the Loves. But I just wanted to open your eyes a little bit to how rare things are. So when you're going to work and coming home, start looking at the trees. Look that every other tree is a unique individual that takes care of themselves. There's no one entity controlling everyone, except if you want to consider that government's trying to do it, or that the ones who actually control the government are actually doing it, aka the elites are trying to control everything. But look at each tree. They're different, right? They're moving different. There's environmental factors, there's genetic factors, but then the tree right next to it's the exact same kind, right? So an oak tree and an oak tree, but they look different. They could have been grown at the same time, the same parents, the same acorns or whatever they come from. And they're different because they're unique and individual. But a part of the parent sticks with them. So I think that's pretty much where I'm going to leave this. Stay tuned for more content, plenty more coming. Stay tuned, guys. I'm out.